Welcome back, everyone. Just kind of wanted to take a few minutes of my time and make a video regarding the Tmaxx. It seems like I've been making a bunch of videos with the slash, stampedes, slash back and forth with the upgrades and everything else that's been going on with with the slash and also the stampede. So I figured today I'd just bust out the Tmaxx. It's been sitting for like over a year. Haven't fired it up, haven't ran it, haven't used it. It's been kind of sitting there collecting dust. So today I just kind of wanted to make a little short video about how it all started and how I got to this point and why I got here in the beginning. Well, from the beginning here in Mexico, like I mentioned before, it's a little bit more difficult to get a hold of these things here. You can find them, but they will be more than likely used. And when you do find them used, they're pretty much almost the same price as a new one. And when you do find them new, they're about maybe 3 to 4 times the price. If we ever have an opportunity and if anyone is curious about what the cost is and what the cost of pieces are in order for you to get a hold of them as well, go ahead and check out. Just hop on Google and take a look under Mexico, obviously, and look for Traxxas, and you'll pretty much get an idea what it is I'm talking about. It's not a cheap hobby out here. I was fortunate and also lucky enough to run into a couple opportunities where I was able to buy these Tmaxx or Traxxas directly from the Traxxas warehouse itself. Obviously got delivered here to Mexico with a third-party delivery company, but in the long run, here they are. I have them in my possession right in front of me. Like I was saying before, it pretty much all started with the Tmaxx. Not with this one here. Obviously, this one came brand new in the box, sealed. I started off with a used one. It's actually one of my videos. It's a Tmaxx 2.5. It is a black one. When I bought it offline, it was actually off of Facebook Marketplace. It seemed like it was in very good condition, but when I got the package here, it came from Sinaloa all the way to Puerto Vallarta, where I'm living at now. But when I received the package, the body wasn't really what I thought it was. The guy said he gave it regular maintenance, took care of it, etc. And let's be real, when someone here in Mexico says I've done maintenance or I've done something, it's not probably more than likely true. Why? It's really expensive. And a lot of people here either are not going to spend the money to do a maintenance on a normal car, let alone on a small RC car. And I'm saying that for a fact. So when I received the Tmaxx, it was not even in fair condition. It was pretty beat up, but it ran. Suspension was shot. Everything was shot. The servos are all broken. Everything was put together with screws and glue. But I couldn't see this in person because I saw it through a video. And when I got it in person, it was a whole different subject. So here we are. But other than that, after a couple months, I decided to sell it. I was able to recuperate almost all the money I spent for it. I was actually surprised. I got lucky. I was able to recuperate what I spent. And with that money, I pretty much put other money I had saved up. And I went ahead and bought this one here. The Tmaxx 2.5 Nitro. It was just pretty much stocked. When I first bought this Tmaxx, it came with this stock blue and yellow and red black body, the classic Tmaxx style. I went ahead myself and just added some decals, as you can see. I love this Killer Clowns one. I bought this Killer Clown sticker in Tijuana. My sister came to visit, so when we were out there, we ran across a little shop that had a bunch of cool stickers. And I was able to gather this one here, a Dragula sticker, and also a Tales from the Crypt sticker. Really good price, and I couldn't pass them up. As you guys can see, the decals were axle, crane names, and everything else. I was able to gather those from Guadalajara. I bought a sheet for about 150 pesos. I'm not sure what it is in dollars right now, but it wasn't cheap and it wasn't too expensive. But for a sheet of decals, 150 pesos. I mean, yeah. But other than that, it just made a big difference. As you can see from the back, I have the stickers in the back also. The tracks is there. Some around. I have the netting that came with the truck. And I went ahead and pretty much added the red border. It made a big difference on the stiffness and is way more rigid, if I can be honest. And I went ahead. It's a little dirty right now, guys, but I went ahead and just added the drywall mesh, also with a silicone base. I think it was for like windows. I forgot what it was, but I bought the big tube for like $5, and that lasted me for 1, 2, 3. I have 4 shells altogether, and every single shell that I own, doesn't matter if it's a Tmaxx or the slash or the Stampede, Every single one will have the border, as you can see here, and it would also have the drywall mesh with the silicone. And I'm gonna go back to my good old AliExpress. I went ahead and purchased this one here. As you guys can see, this would be the Raptor body. It's actually the E150 Rapidex or Safe, whatever you want to call it, but obviously it's based off of the Raptor body itself. If I can be quite honest, it looks really good on a truck. Why? I'm not really that much of a Ford person. I'm not really that much of a Ford fan. But if I can be honest, the way this body looks on the Tmaxx itself, you can't really see it here because it's not on. But it has more of a shorter, stoutier look than the one it has now, because obviously the Tmaxx bodies, they're a little bit longer from front to back, obviously. And this one here is a bit shorter from front to back, and it just makes the truck look a lot more stubbier. And it looks really aggressive and really mean when it's coming down the, well, wherever it is I'm using it. It could be the street, it could be the dirt, it could be pavement, it could be dirt. But other than that, guys, I mean, it looks really nice. I just went ahead and I had to add myself I had to make this hole for the engine, obviously for the pins and also the electric starter, as well as the front. But it was fairly easy, actually really easy. And I just went ahead and I bought another sheet of decals from AliExpress. Once again, that's my go-to store for parts or whatever I need online, obviously. And I just went ahead and added the Traxxas. There's a picture of my daughter because she says she wants to ride, she wants to drive, so here she is. And yeah, got the good old Rapidex, but obviously Raptor. Went ahead and added some decals in the front, also in the windows. But other than that, it looks really good. And this body I have here, this one I bought brand new. There was a shop here locally in Puerto Vallarta. I guess it was going out of business from what the owner was explaining to me. There just wasn't that many flow of business going on. Not that many people buying anything. And obviously, because why? A lot of people don't have these things here once again. And I was able to buy a couple of containers of shock oil for a really cheap price. Not only that, this body here, this red body here in Mexico goes for about, I want to say 2,300 pesos, maybe even 2,500 pesos, which is about maybe $170 around there, maybe a little bit more, I'm not sure. Why? Because it's original and it's Traxxas, and once again, they're hard to come by. But I was really lucky when I was speaking with the man. He was telling me he actually had a Tmaxx body, spare, brand new. And when he showed it to me, I was like, well, hey, how much are you asking for the body? And he answered me 200 pesos. I couldn't believe that I heard 200 pesos. 200 pesos is about maybe $11, $12. So at that moment, when I heard 200 pesos, I didn't even ask any questions. I didn't even ask where it came from. I just said, here you go. I want it, and I bought it. So for the body, this one here, and also the oil that I bought it the same day, it was around maybe 300 pesos altogether. Yeah, around 300. 200 for the body and 100 pesos for 2 containers of oil, which I've already used one. And I still have one brand new sealed, which obviously I already used on my new shock for the Slash, and I have another one to go with, so I have some spare to save for another project. But other than that, I really do love my Tmaxx. I mean, obviously, 2-speed, everyone's familiar with these Tmaxxes, 2.5 nitro. All I've really done to it, guys, I haven't really done anything to this one. Why? Because in AliExpress, they do have a kit for suspension, but it goes for around 2,200 pesos, and I'm not really ready to invest that type of money yet. I'm just going to go ahead and wait maybe a few more months, and then later on down the road, I'll go ahead and add some more upgrades to the Tmaxx. But they do have parts in AliExpress, and obviously I can find them at eBay, Amazon, but I will be paying a lot of money on eBay and also Amazon for a simple one of these little shocks here. Well, they sell them by pairs. I can get 2 pairs of shocks on Amazon for like about, I think, 1,500 pesos, so it's like $100. And you have to remember, guys, that besides that, I still have to pay shipping, which here in Mexico, it will be another 1,000 pesos. So I'm looking at around maybe 200 and change, $220 if I were to go that route, which I'm not, for just a pair of shocks. That's it, nothing else. That's why I try to explain to a lot of people that it's not that easy to go to get a hold of parts. And I wish I could go to a flea market. I wish I could go to a used store or somewhere I can find used parts, but it's not going to happen. And if I were to find something used, the people who do have them, They know that they're not easy to come by, so what are they going to do? They're obviously going to charge you the same amount if it was brand new, or maybe they'll work with you a little bit on the price, but it's really highly doubtful. Why? Because they're not going to go ahead and get rid of them for cheap, because they more than likely either paid a really good price for them, or it was really hard for them to get a hold of that time. So me, myself, what I do is I try to find, well, I go on Google, I obviously look around, I pretty much price match everything. But in the long run, guys, I always end up going back to AliExpress. Why? Prices, quality, selection, delivery, everything on my behalf here in Mexico, AliExpress has not failed yet. Knock on wood. But to the moment, I mean, I purchased, let me see, the decals from AliExpress. I have a servo here from AliExpress. I bought this little exhaust tube here from AliExpress. That's pretty much. Oh yeah, a few extra pins because I went ahead and lost them. That happens. But other than that, I don't have any other upgrades to the Tmaxx besides it being stock, we can say, and that's pretty much about it. But I am looking forward to in the future adding some upgrades. Oh yeah, that's right. I did buy a aluminum pipe off of Amazon. I got that for a really cheap price, and it arrived fairly quickly. Only issue I'm having with that pipe, it sounds really good, and it runs really good, but it doesn't want to stay idle. And where I'm living at now is really humid and it's really hot, so my Tmax can be running really well today, and then I'll go out tomorrow and the weather will change a little bit and it'll just be running a little bit different. So I'm having to constantly change it. I'm not really too familiar on how to adjust these nitro motors. If anyone would like to reach out and help me, I'll be more than happy and open to hearing suggestions or any tips you may have, because I would like to have mine running. I've been watching a lot of videos. Quick shout out to All Aspects RC. And also, excuse me, I forgot at the moment, I'm having a brain fart, but the other people who also subscribe to my channel, I would like to say thank you and welcome. Anyone who would like to be a part of my RC community and also subscribe to my channel, I'll be more than happy to accept anyone who would like to check out my footage. And once again, thank you, and I really do appreciate your time and effort for just taking a look at my videos and what does it have to offer. And once again, all aspects RC, thank you for reaching out and also sending people my way. I really do appreciate it. With that being said, guys, once again, this is just a recap video of the Tmaxx. It's been sitting for over a year. I really need to kind of take it out there. Why? Because I would like to use it. I have maybe about a quart of nitro left. I'm running 20%, 14%. I was looking online and seeing about buying another gallon. The gallon goes for about 1,400 pesos, and the quart goes for about 600 pesos. So it wouldn't make any sense buying one quart when I could just wait, save up a little bit more, and just buy the whole gallon. And that way I could just bash even more, and it'll last me a little bit longer as well. Now that I've been learning how to drive the Tmaxx, I'm not wasting as much nitro as I had before. Before, it seems like I was really running through it, but now I've kind of figured out how to adjust it a little bit, how to run the Tmaxx so be more efficient with the nitro, and I don't waste as much as I was before back then. And I've noticed a big difference in the way it does run. I just need to get that tune in right to the point where I'm saying, yes, it sounds really good. And more than anything else, it stays running idle. I've noticed some really good videos out there with people with Tmaxxes with a 2.5 or 3.3 or whatever motor they have in it. And the way they idle and the way they just sit there idling and the way it responds is like, dude, I would love to have mine be at that level where I can say, okay, I'm confident it's not going to cut out, and I can just bang hard and stop and it's going to stay running, and I don't have to run across the field to start the goddamn motor once again because it stalled out or died out. And besides that, every time I go out and bash, there's always a lot of people around, and the last thing I would like to do is for someone to grab it and take off running, because a lot of people know that they're not cheap, they're really expensive. And there's been a couple times that there's been a couple iffy situations where I was like, you know what, it's time for me to just kind of shut this down, pack up and leave, or move to another spot, because these guys are asking way too many questions that are just making me feel like it's probably going to end up not in a good situation. That happened to me not too long ago with the Slash. I was out there in San Jose del Valles, about 30 minutes from where I live. Went out to go visit family. I was out there bashing the Slash, and it was a plaza with a church and everything else. It was a holiday weekend, and there was a group of guys that just asking way too many questions about the Slash and what did I have in my backpack, and if everything in the backpack had to do with the car, and if everything in the backpack makes the car run on and off. There were just too many questions about these guys. I was like, you know what? I think it's best for me to just maybe run it for a little bit, 5 more minutes more, and then just pack up and move. And that's what I did. The vibe just wasn't really feeling too good, and I decided to leave. So that's why I have to kind of be cautious out here, because if someone takes off running with my Tmaxx or my Slash or my Stampede, uh, yeah, I'm hoping I can catch up to them, and if not, then that's pretty much gone. So I have to be really cautious. That's what I'm saying. That everywhere I go, I have to pay attention to my surroundings. But other than that, a lot of people are really friendly. I'm not going to say people are bad and it happens constantly, but you do have to be cautious. And once your gut feeling says something, I like to listen to what my feelings tell me. And more than likely, my feelings say go, I'm packing it up and I'm leaving. All right, guys. With that being said, I'm just going to go ahead and say thank you. Once again, this is Traxxas. Would like to appreciate everyone for stopping by and checking out this footage. I know that I'm fairly new to this. I'm getting started, but I'm open to suggestions. If anyone would like to see any type of footage of any type of terrain, I have access to the beach, rivers, creeks, not really too many lakes, but there's a lot of hills. There's a lot of hillsides. I have a lot of terrain with dirt, rocks, pavement. I mean, if anyone out there would like to say, hey, can I see this? I'll be more than happy to do so. With that being said, thank you. Please subscribe to my channel that we will unblock us, and have a good day, guys. Take care.